If they didn't want to pay the toll,
But we got 55,000 cars right now getting off and on the corridor. Okay. Would you say that those people are probably going to continue doing it?
I'm sorry, they're going to continue to do what?
We have 55,000 cars in and out of here.
Oh, you think that if the toll is too high and people don't want to take it, will the problem proceed?
Will they end up having to?
I mean, if there is a toll option, which we haven't determined if there will be, if there is, it should be competitively priced to give people an incentive to use it.
But these people here, okay, so you're saying that how much do you think the toll would be?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's going to require a lot of
What
studies.
is your background?
I am an engineer with a consulting firm.
You're an engineer? What kind of engineer?
I'm a civil engineer.
Civil engineer. Okay. So you can't really answer the question on well, you should be able to answer it.
But there is a project.
You're an engineer, although you're more of a designer.
So when you figured out the percentage of the goods, how'd you guys figure it out?
It's a mix of observation. We have some truck counts, and we also have a model that shows that. So these graphics are from the regional model.
I try to read that regional model. Now, are you making the numbers from the Port of LA? From leaving the Port of LA onto the freeway? How are you counting that? Good.
The model has a truck component. It's actually separate from the regular passenger traffic. And yeah, the ports, both the Port of LA and the Port of Long Beach, they're the biggest generator of traffic. So
yeah, I understand that, but that's why I'm saying that I was confusing your little numbers I was reading. How are you guys counting goods of LA? You guys are counting, yeah, the Port of LA, because the thing is very confusing, because it's like a small number, and I really think it's a bigger number than what you guys are putting out there.
Well, the model doesn't deal in goods directly; it deals with trucks. So with the model is
the trucks from that leaving the ports,
right? And
not leaving the port and going next door to a different company and jumping on that truck, right? It's not counting that stuff.
No, those are counted separately. So there's.
But where? See, I tried to look for that number and I couldn't find it. Well, I know that's how they work out.
I mean, there's one of the problems with the ports is there's not one port location.
So
I mean,
see,
there's different piers.
And I thought I would see a different little thing for that. There wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I mean, one thing we could pull out of the model, it's not as relevant to this, but one thing.
That's why the numbers are small.
Well,
should be bigger.
But they are pretty big here. So this is, for example, this one.
Yeah, I agree. They're pretty big here, but it should be bigger.
710.
Yeah, from the 7th and up should be bigger.
Well, this number is, I mean, on the order of, it's like about 20,000 plus or minus. I don't know the exact number, but with the thickness of this line, about 20,000 trucks a day coming directly and this is just Port of Long Beach traffic. Probably a little LA traffic, but it's mostly Long Beach that's coming up there. And most of it's heading out the 10, the 60, or the 91. So you talk about 20,000 trucks a day just from the port. That's a pretty significant number. And then there's port
of this project are going to get the worst pollution because it's going to blow their way. So it's and the other thing is Caltrans has already come out and said this has a letter F, meaning that they wouldn't build it. So they've already evaluated this project and said this would be F grade because the minute you open it, it will be just as congested. So although it talks about numbers of saying it's going to reduce traffic by 25 to 10%, that might be for the first few months, and then induced demand is just going to fill it up. We have other traffic experts that we've been able to employ through South Pasadena to prove that case.
So are you fighting on behalf of kind of Pasadena?
No, I'm actually in Los Angeles. I'm not too far from the end of the tunnel there. I'm right on the border of Pasadena and LA.
There's no access.
No traffic's going to get on.
Direct access, no, you got to go through Valley.
Yeah. That's kind of poor planning. So one of the questions, will you put ramps?
It's not part of the plan, no.
Not part of the plan. So you're talking about going to Mission?
Well, we're talking the...
That's called the connector.
Well, we call it part of if we're going to include it, it'll be part of the TSM, TDM, because if to say the tunnel is not built, we still have to deal with the terrible traffic now. So this connection, without a tunnel, we're thinking of putting to alleviate this problem. If the tunnel's not built, to get this local street system to connect to Mission to allow relief in Alhambra.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Now, that approach was tried before.
Which the city of LA looked into that.
Right, and they decided that wasn't the thing to do. Alhambra went against it.
Well, Alhambra wants a tunnel.
Well, they went against it because it wasn't resolving the problem, and that was broken money.
It's something like
So the freeway tunnel is what Alhambra would like. Absolutely. Right, so I say that the preferred for them is the freeway tunnel, but if that doesn't go through, there's still the existing congestion to deal with. So how do we help this situation? And that could be to connect those two major streets.
Give me 3 reasons why you think that'll work. It makes absolutely.
Well, the problem.
With the existing traffic there right now, let's say 55,000. Yeah,
Whatever
55,000 cars right now coming off the border, in and out.
It just provides another release point for all the traffic that's
and
there
it is
now.
in their back.
So rather than concentrating it all on Valley, it provides Mission
the community
to help distribute the traffic better.
And where does it go from Mission?
And then it all goes into the local street system.
So once again, put 55,000 cars into residential streets?
If the tunnel is not built,
55,000 cars.
we have an issue to distribute traffic. That's right.
Well, and who's asking for it again?
So from a traffic point of view, this is the problem, right? This is where all the traffic is going.
Okay, but what city is that?
Problem is
This is Alhambra.
Okay, and you would be dumping the traffic into LA?
No, it's Alhambra.
No, I live
This
right
is Alhambra
there.
right
That's
here.
El Sereno.
I know, but this is Alhambra right here. The problem with here is that Alhambra didn't want it because I live in Alhambra.
Yeah.
Because if they build it, not only is it going to throw traffic in here, but it's going to take away from the tunnel.
So if the freeway
that's why
tunnel,
Alhambra
That's the
didn't
fear.
want it.
That's the fear that they.
Yeah, that's what they don't want it. And then the other thing is, Alhambra right here, the only pass it has is Fremont because of the railroad. I mean, if you get it across here, now you have a lot of other streets that they go to. When they get off the freeway, they'd have to go way over there west or come to Fremont or Marengo. I mean, even the fire department has trouble with that, getting across Fremont, because there's no way to get across the railroad. And that's why they wanted to build it across to be able to bypass at least the railroad. Because now you have other arteries that you can go north.
Well, the biggest,
or west.
one of the reasons why they proposed it was to alleviate the problem of Fremont.
Yeah.
Fremont.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because there is no
But what
other
happens?
crossing.
What
the
happens?
railroad.
What you're doing is you're bringing whatever comes out here right now, and the problem you're having on Valley and Fremont. You're extending it to
because
to Mission.
here in Fremont, there's nowhere else to go across. Okay, other than Fremont, Marengo, or way west. Once you cross the railroad right here, you have a lot of other alternatives. You have Fremont, and then you could go into all your neighborhoods that you need to go into.
Thank you.
No, I'm not talking about the traffic. I'm just talking about residents here. They could just go into their own neighborhood, or they could take a lot more.
But that study.
Oh, they probably will, but I mean, they had studies that it was
That study went through, and we had this whole community here
Oh yeah, especially
say
Emory Park.
that they didn't want it.
Yeah, of course they don't.
Okay, of course.
Yeah.
Just like this community here, West
Property value.
didn't want the ramps at Hilton. And this is a more serious issue.
That's way before my time.
But those could be done pretty easily. That would relieve a lot of the traffic here because Cal State LA students.
I don't think the Cal State LA
You put
students
ramps, you
are
extend the
much of
impacts,
the
right? So you have to
The
accommodate.
traffic is the people that come from Pasadena going up to the
Plus
210.
there's a-
That's where you get most of the traffic. The students, I mean, they're going to get around the streets anyway.
And you have the issue with the closeness of the system interchange here. So you just can't take ramps off of a freeway so close to the major.
Distance.
The HDM from a system interchange is almost a mile to the nearest interchange. At HDM. So even Valley is closer than it should be.
Yes.
Correct.
Are you going to take out the Valley interchange?
No? We're gonna
Okay.
put-
So those can be,
Well, it's
Set aside.
further. You can see that
you can set aside anything that can be set aside.
You can do anything. Yeah, they let you.
Or that you can pay.
Did that answer your question?
It's not a very good one, but you answered the question.
So for Alhambra, the tunnel is going to be the best relief for the congestion.
Let me ask you something. there's no build.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be the best thing to do is to remove this and mitigate it on the freeway
Well,
instead of a residential?
If nothing else, yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of a residential?
we did look at that from a traffic point of view. You could talk to Lauren about that, but it did had a wider swath of issues by doing that.
Well, yeah, but
From
I
a
mean,
traffic point of view, Lauren will.
well, that resolved a lot of the issues that the San Gabriel Valley is having.
We did look at that, but that didn't provide a better solution. But talk to Lauren about the traffic. I'll tell you how the traffic migrates through once this is cut off.
So let me just review what you said.
Okay.
The option only if the tunnel is not part of it, doesn't go forward, that this will be extended to Mission, possibly?
We're going to consider that in the environmental project report.
Well, that's part of it.
Part of it.
That I didn't know. This is the first time I heard of it. I haven't read anything.
They're reintroducing it again. It was already brought up and it was shot down by multiple groups, and they're
The
reintroducing
alternative,
it.
I don't see any of that
Yeah,
discussion.
what part of the 5 alternative is that part of?
That
Is
would
that
be-
part of the no build?
Well, we're always, as we go forward with the project, we're always trying to improve each alternative. So the TSM, TDM alternative,
Change the alternative.
well, we want them to perform better. That's the, and then, how do you make it better? You have to make changes, true. So does that actually help? So it's something that we're looking at to try to make the TSM, TDM alternative better.
Well, I think the city of Alhambra is really
They would
needs to
rather
look
not
at-
have it.
I think they need to look at your new ideas here and consider whether that is going to resolve their problem. I mean, I see one big problem. You got 180,000 cars that are asked to pay a toll. If they decide not to pay the toll, they're going to get off on Fremont, or rather on Valley. And you got, instead of 55,000, you're adding 180,000 going through here.
Well, that's not a true statement, because if this is, the only thing the tunnel is going to do is to take traffic off of local street systems. You're talking about the no build. The worst case is the no build, which is they add the most.
I'm saying if you're going to build this thing, it has to be public funding.
Could be.
Which you have to pay for a toll. Which means that the average person, 180,000. It'd be great for you guys if 180,000 cars paid for a toll.
Yeah, the only thing that the pricing of the tunnel will determine. So, say it's a free tunnel. That's the best benefit. That's going to take the most cars off, right? So as you add a toll, the benefit decreases, but no matter what, it's still a benefit to the local street. You still take the cars off the local street and go through the tunnel.
But the problem
Now,
with
the worst case is you charge $1,000 for each vehicle, and no one uses the tunnel, then you could have a no bill.
on switches.
So it's not going to be worse than the no bill.
all the San Gabriel Valley, all east of here, they want this tunnel because it's gonna improve their street transportation. They're gonna get rid of cars that are going through their community.
Okay, good.
If you're bringing 180,000 cars and they don't pay the toll, that doesn't help them.
Just remember, the no build is the worst condition. If the tunnel goes in, it's going to be an improvement to the local street system.
So, even if
The no
it's
build is the
10%,
worst.
You say if
It's
it's
still 10% of the cars are going to get off the local street and go to
Let me ask you
it's
another
still a better.
question. Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Okay, you got 180,000 cars. Let's say for some reason it works and people are managed to use it and pay for it. Where are they going to go? You have a 210 already fully congested. And you're trying to get another 180,000 cars in it? How do you?
There's the big regional model shows how the traffic gets dispersed through the whole region.
So the only way is that people that are using the 210 won't be using the 210 when this is built, that are coming east and west.
There's going to be a redistribution of traffic if this link is connected. So the traffic folks can tell you.
No, let's say maybe 30%.
30%,
that's still 150,000 cars.
But you have to, the 180,000 cars are coming here to go through this tunnel. They're not coming here to drive the local street.
They're coming.
So you're mixing little apples and oranges.
Yeah, but then they come here and they decide not to pay. They go through our streets again. That's the biggest problem San Gabriel Valley is having.
Again, every car that uses the tunnel is one less car that's going to use the local street. So it's always going to get better.
So you have cost of anywhere between 5.4 billion to maybe, who knows, the Boston Tunnel costs 22 billion. The mitigation on this could be as much as the Boston Tunnel, correct? For what? Maybe 10%, a 30% improvement for citywide? It doesn't make sense.
That's your opinion on that, but
I'm a taxpayer, and I mean, the idea
Aren't we all?
doesn't make sense.
Val. Reporter. Radio reporter.
From
you have a question?
Yeah, I'm right here. This area.
Oh, okay.
We get all the traffic, and my whole thing is, I'm
You're
gonna go look
in
at the other
Park.
one.
You're in Emory
No,
Park.
I'm over here on the southeast side, south of Valley.
Oh, okay.
This is what's bearing the brunt of
That's a nice little pocket, by the way.
Oh no, it is. But the thing is, that's what I'm just trying to say. Like, even if they don't build this, I know a lot of people don't like it. I personally would prefer the freeway, but if they do traffic, anytime the traffic goes down at Mission and Fremont, I mean, you're talking traffic coming here all the way down to here, and then you get all the traffic in our neighborhood.
Have you seen the traffic?
That's just one.
Have you seen the traffic in the evening on Mission?
Oh, I've seen it. No, but have you seen the traffic?
It backs up all the way down to here.
That's nothing. But if you get the light here down, oh, that's even worse.
All
That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
saying, the afternoon traffic, just coming from downtown.
Oh, I've seen it. It's nothing
comes
compared
through
to this
here.
area.
For the MTA back from 87 to 98.
This young man right here, born and raised right next to the 5 from Calzona. He's got asthma. Okay, he's had asthma. He has to live with a machine. Okay, because he lives next to the freeway.
My son goes to school right on the Fremont, right off the 10. You know how many kids had to move out? I had a lot of friends that move out just because of the traffic.
Okay, so
same thing.
we bring this tunnel here. Okay, we have a portal that's nothing but pollutants. Okay,
It's concentrated exhaust.
concentrated
Right in a
exhaust right here.
They're splitting them as far as I believe. I haven't looked at it. I don't think they just have one. Just one?
How many scrubbers?
How many do you have along the route? I thought there were going to be more than one. I haven't looked at
The
it.
tunnel, all the air will be treated on either end of the.
What did I tell you? Now you live here?
But that's
It can't be much worse than what it is now.
it'll be treated. There'll be scrubber.
Concentrated. They're blowing the air from the inside out here.
Okay, and I'm sure that's going to be treated. But right now, we have all the
Yeah,
air
but
here.
you know what? Your treatment is still not 100%.
No, but it'll be
Too
treated in
expensive. You guys said the same. You said so. It's too expensive to clean it completely. And that's having scrubbers all along.
It's not all along.
Initially, you had scrubbers.
We do have scrubbers. That's
I mean, you had scrubbers. You had scrubbers before.
at either end.
That was you had scrubbers in South Path by the high school. Okay, you had
That was a concept that was presented about 7 years ago. But I think that's changed.
But now you're changing. And at that
That's
time,
because of the concern that you and others raised, not having an intermediate ones, and that's why we changed
and
the
at that
concept.
time, even South Pasadena said, "Are you cleaning the air completely?" And you said you could not do that. Too expensive.